Hello people, this is Mark from Kharischangeworks. Hope you're well. This is like an extension, number 2 in the 30 characteristics of a Narc when they can't get their own way. So, just like the previous one, pay attention to some of these characteristics. They are interesting, they are revealing, they are, for a better word, true to form. So, as you pay attention to some of these, you might identify the 1, the 2, the 3 people in your life. Maybe close by, maybe a little bit more at a distance. It doesn't really matter. These characteristics are typical of the Narc. So, let's have another set of these and see what they say. The Narc is highly absorbed with their own hobbies and interests, to the point of ignoring you or the children's needs. Disclosure. The Narc in my life, who at this point in time is hoping to be very soon, at least I'm hoping for her to disappear into the sunset and never return, in spite of being encouraged by myself and the doctors and the psychiatrists and the other psychiatry, psychology style intervention groups of people, support networks, counselors, therapists, man, you name it, she had the lot. It didn't matter. What she did was more to do with her agenda and how it affected the children and myself. Shame. Toughen up, princess, is what I was told very frequently because of the pressure I couldn't handle at the time. Interesting. Now, the important factor here is highly absorbed with their own stuff, and ignoring the needs of the children. It didn't matter to her whether the children were in distress, whether they were frightened, whether they were panicky. As long as she could overdose and stand on bridges and have the tablets and ring afterwards, or ring and let them know that she's going to overdose and stand on bridges. That was the focal point of her narcissistic plan of abuse as far as one particular element is concerned. So when you see people who are so self-absorbent, so self-involved with their stuff, that they neglect to identify the needs and their behavior as far as how it impacts others are concerned, even their own, you know that you're dealing with a seriously toxic person. I only give you that as an example because, as I've said before, Lara, we both said that we are talking about real life experience, not something that we've picked up from a book somewhere. This is stuff that we've experienced ourselves. So pay attention to that one. Number 2, as we know, they always have to be in control. They always have to have that spotlight focused on them all the time. All the time. It doesn't matter what they do, it doesn't matter what they say, or maybe not. As soon as that focus drifts away to something or somewhere or someone else, they will do whatever it takes, and I mean they will do whatever it takes to have that focus redirected on them, as if they have to stand in the spotlight, so to speak. If they were an actor, they would have to be the main role and the rest of the cast, because it's important to them. The next one says here, they will inappropriately tease and ignore the hurt that teasing causes. As I mentioned only a few seconds ago, myself and my son were very often referred to as princesses. And we had to toughen up princesses. Because that's just how the Narc works. Okay? And so the agenda continues regardless of what they say and how they say it. In fact, they might even go as far as to say very degrading and belittling things purely to get a reaction out of you. Because that way, they know they've got you. The next, they will not take responsibility for their own actions and their behavior. Now, like we said in the previous video, they refuse to do so because it's easy to point the finger of blame and say it's your fault. Because as soon as they identify that they are at a fault or they've made a mistake, it means they're wrong. And you know as well as I do, the Narc says, nah. As I mentioned previously, they believe that they are the Almighty. So when they are engaged in that I can't make a mistake attitude, as soon as you point out their mistakes and offer them some feedback, it's like, who the hell do you think you are telling me I need to change? I can do things better because you are just a minion and I'm Gru, if I can use a movie characters. And when you do, observe their behavioral change. They might get angry, they might get snotty, they might do things to deliberately hurt and upset you, or the children for that matter. Doesn't matter. When you start pointing out their flaws, pay attention. The next one I've got down here, whatever they do, as soon as you match that, try to keep up with the Joneses. Let me show you, I can do things better. And that's just the way that it is. So when you've got this internal competition going on, in terms of who can do the best, who can do better, who can climb up that ladder the quickest, you're dealing with a Narc. So all I want to say to you with these little things here is the theme for these little ones here are, it's all about me. And I don't care about how it affects you. Because you see, I'm the Narc and you are not. You're just the prey. You're the one that feeds me. So pay attention. So when you see these kind of behaviors in other people who might be in your social circles, observe what and how they go about communicating to the other people in that particular relationship. And then pay attention to their body language, how their mood changes because of this one here. It's an interesting one, but it's also very, very real. So there you go. A few more little pointers for you. As always, like, share, subscribe. YouTube admin, as I call it. I would like to hear your comments. But for now, this is Mark from Kharischangeworks. I'll speak to you soon.